Mike's Daily Podcast.
I've got a thing on my face. It makes me sound all muffled. Hey, Mike's Daily Podcast. We have a special guest today. Hey, say your name.
My name is Ken Luttrell.
That doesn't rhyme.
Doesn't matter.
What the hell?
There you go.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? We did a little song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And because we're at Cafe Anyway, and we're kind of closer than 6 feet.
Mike's
So we both got masks
Daily
on, and that's
Podcast.
we couldn't get the microphones further apart. So thanks for being on the show, Ken.
You're welcome, Mike.
This is episode 2137. Ken gives me a lot of feedback, and like one of the things he said was, Mike, you have a nasally voice. And so that was some really good feedback because I've changed my voice since then. I went in, I saw a doctor. He went in, he took my nose off. And so I no longer have a nasally voice. Thank you, Ken, for that.
Oh, I'm glad you got the surgery.
Ken, everybody has a nasally voice because we all have noses, Ken.
I understand.
Wait, what's this noise?
I don't know.
Hang on, let me get that off. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we don't need a pop filter anymore because, as you said.
Right, because we're wearing masks.
Because we're wearing masks, and they're like, they serve as a pop filter. Filter.
That's correct.
So thank you for telling me about my nose.
Well, I also mentioned that when you sing as well,
that I sound terrible.
No, but you do it without shame, and I love that. I find that endearing.
Oh, okay. I have a little bit of oh, do you know what I just realized? So, what's this microphone? I should know what this microphone is. I've been in radio for like over 30 years or some crazy thing. I started in 86. There was this guy I knew that had one of these microphones.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's not the picture of the guy who used one of these microphones, but he would take we usually have a cover thing.
Yeah, right.
There, I put the cover back on. Now I'm going to take it back off. Okay. And he would talk without the cover. I'm like, what are you doing? How come I don't hear any pops or anything? And he said, oh, I know. I'm well skilled in talking into a microphone. This is I just know the right way.
Oh, really?
So I'd watch him, and he would do kind of this off to the side thing. Like we were talking about Frasier, who does the
right
off the side.
Well, he knows where the because there's a graph that shows you exactly where the sound is coming from. You know, like when you talk into the mic, because sometimes it's like a mushroom, the other times it's like a giant circle. So depending on where you are situated, that's where the sound travels through.
Basil was well skilled in where to bark into a microphone. He knew the.
Oh, yeah.
Basil.
We miss him.
So we had the little thing. So there was like a graph, and they followed the graph. Yeah.
Yep.
I should probably look at one of those sometime since
I know. I used to know the name of it too. Why did I go to college for radio if I don't know these names? What did we do?
I say everybody should go to college and do a radio class because there's a lot going on in the human voice. I'm going to suck in my entire mask into my mouth while I'm talking, and this is very difficult for me to breathe. I'm used to taking a full breath, and I get stuck with this mask in my mouth. It's disgusting. What I was saying was that there are people that... Okay, my lovely lady friend, for example, was talking to me last night, and she said, how do you get in front of a group of people and start to talk, or get on a microphone and start to talk and not have everything written out and know exactly what you're going to say and know where you're going to end up or anything like that? You know what? It's just some people have a lot to say. And maybe it doesn't come out of my mouth very correctly or unnasally or whatever, but it... So I was trying to tell her how to maybe take an improv class or something. That's a good way to get the creative juices going and talking in front of an audience and trying to block out, all those eyes or ears looking at you, listening to you, and being able to perform. It is a performance, but then all the world is a stage. God, it's almost like I'm doing the show by myself. Ken?
I was waiting for a beat. I didn't want to jump in and walk over you.
I'm out of breath. I just swallowed my mask. I can't talk. Go ahead.
I was actually going to say that, you know, when it comes to, because I used to take public speaking when I was in high school, and even in college I did it. I love public speaking. I used to do acting when I was a kid in high school. So many plays, you know, I would sometimes have the lead role. But what I was going to say is that you have...
What?
Yeah.
What were you the lead role?
I was actually Biff in Death of a Salesman.
No!
Yes, I was. That was my first major role in high school theater.
You are a skilled thespian.
Yes, I was a thespian. My mom would be, if she heard me right now talk about it, she'd be like, yeah, she has the DVDs of me at home.
Dang, Ken.
So what I was going to say is about your lovely lady friend, what she would, what I could tell her, is that you have to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. It's not 1, 2, 3. Like, you're not thinking one thought and then, all right, you're done with that thought. Now I'm going to go to the second thought. You have to think, all right, I'm on this thought right now, but I want to get to steps 2 and 3. You already have them in your mind.
Right.
So, but if you do 1, 2, 3, like if you go at one beat, you're going to trip. Like, I mean, I've seen it done. Like, I've had to do the worst part when you're acting on a stage is that when you're with somebody, I mean, it's bad when you forget your lines, but it's even harder when someone forgets their lines and you're working with them. Like one time I had that, we were doing Death of a Salesman and the guy completely lost. So I just skipped to the middle of the script of what our scene was. And we just went. And I'm like, wow. But it was tough because you're like, man, where is he going? And where do I have to go to get him back on track? So it's just as nerve-wracking for the person who knows their lines and they're trying to assist the person who doesn't know their lines. But yeah, when it comes to talking out loud, you have to think ahead. You can't just think one after another because I don't know. It kind of messes you up. It can mess you up.
Yeah. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast, Southern Podcastro Valley.
What's warm out here?
Vermont. It is a warm day.
It was very nice today, actually. I enjoyed it.
Don't you love it? So how long have you lived in California?
I've been here for a little over almost a year and a half.
Wow, so you've seen all of our quote-unquote seasons.
Yes, I can say my least favorite season is the late summer. I am not a fan.
Yeah, because it's really hot.
It's smoky.
But it's not... Oh, yeah. But it's not humid like your old digs.
No, and there's not that many mosquitoes.
That's true.
Very little. Yeah.
Awful things.
Very awful.
And they're so big in New York, aren't they?
Oh, well, especially my lovely lady friend. When she gets bit, she's got like sweet blood. It like bulges up like we're talking like $1 size like coin, like big. Like I feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah, my lovely lady friend has that issue with getting all the little welts.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, right? Like I don't know what it is. It's like a chemical reaction.
Do you ever see what's his name, Jiminy Glick?
Yes, but yeah.
Can I ask him a question? That was my Jiminy Glick impression, Martin Short.
I like it.
So, Ken Luttrell, would you say that your lovely lady friend is she Latina?
She is a Latina. Mexicana.
So, are you going to celebrate Dia de los Muertos?
I want to. I think I'm more immersed in her, heritage than she is. No, I say that with I joke. But yeah, no, I love it. I love the Mexican heritage and culture and the things that they do, especially during this time.
Not too far from here at Niles on, I don't know if they're going to do it this year because of the dang coronavirus, but they usually do it on a Saturday night. No matter where Dia de los Muertos falls, they try and pick the Saturday closest to it, even if it's afterwards. And they put this fantastic, it's all the, what do you call the skeletons? Calaveras?
I don't know.
All the skeleton faces, and they have all the beautiful flowers and like the bougainvilleas.
I just showed you the pumpkin that my lady friend. It almost looks like a Dio.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, with the flowers and those. But it's interesting because it comes like the Dia de los Muertos. It comes in November. And you think that it'd be around... I mean, it is around Halloween, but it's
early. The day after, isn't it? November, All Saints Day.
But you would think it would be October. I don't know.
I haven't picked a podcast picture yet. Tell everybody why our fellow coworker is so mad.
Who? Which one? Which one?
The tall one. The lead
yes.
Lead producer.
So we're big football fans over here, except for our fearless leader across from me. And he goes by he goes by Niner Nate. That's how big of a Niners fan he is, and I'm a big I guess you can call me Coral Gable Ken because I'm a big Miami Dolphins fan. And
that was my Dolphin impression.
That was pretty decent. And they decimated the Dolphins decimated the 49ers yesterday. I think it was 43-17, Mike.
Oh wow,
43-17. It was the most that's ever been scored in Santa Clara, where they play. It was a good day for me, and it was a bad day for our tall friend.
So he's been walking around in a bad mood all day.
Yeah, a little sulky, and I'm wearing a Dolphin shirt today too, just to celebrate even more. Monday morning. It's actually called the Monday morning victory. That's what you would call it. Monday morning victory.
Are they still? Are you guys still friends?
We are still friends. We watched the game together, actually, socially distant, of course. But I was excited. I couldn't even be as excited though, Mike. I didn't tell you because my team likes to give up leads, and even when we were winning, I was getting nerves of so many nerves in my body all over because I'm like, we never do this well. So the fact that we did, I couldn't handle it. Oh, that's a burro.
See.
That's el burro.
Un burro.
Yes. And Mike is petting him. And where's that, a farm, Mike? Where is that?
That's the farm, Harley Farms in Pescadero.
Harley Farms.
And I think I talked about this last podcast, me petting a donkey. So that's going to be the podcast picture. See it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Ken goes there all the time.
I do.
He's on the...
frequent visitor.
No, he only listens to the show through Spotify.
I like Spotify. Sorry.
Well, I learned a lot today, Ken, because first off, I did not know that wearing a face mask not only protects me from you giving me coronavirus or vice versa, it also acts as the thing that keeps me from popping my peas on the microphone. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That's great news. And I learned that in sports, people get upset when their football teams lose.
Very upset.
And that there's some kind of a dolphin-related team somewhere.
Absolutely correct.
And that your lovely lady friend is Latina like mine.
See.
And that we could...
and she's from the Bronx, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's not.
No, my lovely lady friend's from SoCal. Where you're from, right?
Yes.
So look at that.
Look at all these
We're
connections.
the opposites, but the same.
Isn't that true of everything? Why are we fighting as a nation?
I don't know.
We should be a nation united. That's what I... Hey, on that note, one of the talk show hosts that I produced the show for told me yesterday that Joe Biden had a thing in his ear that was giving him all the answers in the last debate. Is that true? Did you see that too? I don't know.
I also saw on Saturday that Joe Biden became a fly and started dancing on Mike Pence's head.
That was on Saturday Night Live, huh?
That was. Jim Carrey did a great job, I believe.
I've got to watch that.
Yes.
I watched the Jack Black performance, and that was fantastic. Oh my gosh.
You mean Jack White?
I did it again.
Oh.
What if those two have those two ever performed together?
I don't know, but they should. I mean, I always loved Tenacious D, and I'm sure that he's a fan of each other's, or they're a fan of each other's work. That would be a good collab.
A long, long bleeping time ago in a town called Cookapoo lived... That was a song from Pick of Destiny.
Wait, I don't remember. I thought you were doing another song. It sounded like, what's his name? Weird Al's version of American Pie.
Everything I sing sounds like Weird Al, doesn't it?
That or Pink Floyd.
Okay. We don't need no self-control. Okay. First off, real quick, David Crosby disrespected Eddie Van Halen.
Boo.
When someone asked him on Twitter what he thought of Eddie Van Halen, he said meh, M-E-H, meh.
Meh to him.
To which somebody from the LA Guns...
Tracy Guns.
said something like, straight up, bleep you, David Crosby.
A lot of F-bombs. Love it.
Then there was... Okay, so Jack White performed with a guitar that Eddie Van Halen gave him, designed for him. So that was cool. And he did kind of what do you call it on the fretboard? You're a guitarist.
I'm a bass player, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it right now. Blanks. Drawing blanks.
And what was the other? So there was a guy, I think his name is Morgan. Who was the country guy that was supposed to be on Saturday Night Live? And he ended up this country guy.
Oh, yeah, where he was making out with, like, all these girls at a party and not being socially distant.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on, and then Jack White took over because of...
He wasn't wearing a mask like we are right now.
No, he was not.
And video came out of him hanging out at this party, like, days before.
Making out with random girls.
So then he posts a I'm sorry video. And I don't know if you've seen the video. He's got a baseball hat on backwards. And my lovely lady friend showed it to me. And I go, you just know that guy's manager said, hey, you better put a apology video on the internet right now because you was guilty. You were making out with that woman all slattered up with the covert. And my lovely lady friend said, what? But yeah, that was one of, is it Morgan Wallace? No, that's somebody else.
I never heard, you know what? I never heard of the guys. I was like, who? And I'm like, well, Jack White's coming in.
And these fans of this country singer were like, who's Jack White? Why is he, who's this guy? They had no idea, but that's we need to work together and not be opposites and appreciate each other's music. David Crosby.
Correct. By the way, speaking of being non-socially distant and not practicing good mask wear, DeSantis was at a rally today. I think it was today, and he was just high-fiving everybody. Just high-fiving everybody. With no mask on, and they're high-fiving, and they're having a great time down there in Florida.
Oh, the governor.
Yes, Mr. DeSantis.
Oh, my mom's in Florida. Yeah, they got they're not quite up to speed with this thing isn't over with yet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, hey, there's some people outside a cafe anyway. Let's say hi out to them right now. Let's see. I wonder who it is. Do you know? Is it the donkey? That was my donkey impression. Needs a little work. Oh. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I got a mask on, too. Hi, Ken.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
You roping them in lately?
Yeah. I'm roping everything. I wrote David Crosby. He's over 70 years old.
You got to be nicer to Eddie Van Halen in Memorial.
Yeah, that's what I said. Look who else is here.
It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
Hey, Ken. Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Do you know you are the first person to ever say a what to his tell you what?
I love it.
I used to do this show with another employee of possibly the radio station we're at right now, possibly not. And he went by the name Haley. Haley would always leave the disgruntled fiddle player hanging when he asked tell you what.
Every time I listen, I always say, when you say tell you what, I say what.
Excellent.
So I'm always prepared.
Thank you.
I'm not wearing a mask. I just have really big mustache hairs coming out, covering my face, so I'm protected.
I don't know if that's good enough.
And look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Have some of that. Oh, boy. Hi, Ken.
How you doing?
Drink some. I'll cut you.
Wow.
Sorry.
Does that bring you back to Brooklyn?
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to go to college there, but not too often would I hang around and have people show knives in front of me.
This isn't a real knife.
Oh, is it one of those plastic ones I dropped in the break room?
Mike, you dropped about 30 of them. And you're just scooping them up, and I couldn't help you because we have to be socially distant.
My only regret is I wasn't recording the sound effect of a bunch of plastic knives hitting the ground. It's the greatest sound ever. Oh, that was awesome.
There's so many.
I feel bad about that. Sorry.
That's all right. There's 500 in there. I think we'll be all right.
we'll wrap it up now. Woo. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And Ken, any other bits of advice you could give me today?
Just practice singing.
I will. That's some good, wholesome advice. And everybody, go check out. Do you want to plug something, like a Twitter or something?
Like
one of your things that you do?
No, not right now.
You don't want to plug anything?
No, not really. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Schlitz Creek, but that's about it.
Very good. I hadn't even thought of Schlitz Creek.
I was saving that for you.
Oh, I don't think I've ever drank that beer before.
Schlitz? Yeah, well.
Oh,
I don't think it exists, right?
Does it?
Anymore?
See?
I don't know.
All right, we're going to have to find some. Thank you. And now it's A-Frame to tell us more. You can call me 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily is and what this podcast is. Thank you, Ken.
Bye-bye.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
And that was episode 2137. Look, I'm like somebody talking on Zoom, and I can't find the microphone. Where am I supposed to talk? MikesDailyPodcast.com.